هاي غرفة بنته انهبت هبي. كانت غرفة بنته. الله لا يردها. هاي عم يقولوا خدي خالتي خدي صحتين حقك ومستحقك.
في شي هون شوفي
ما صار شي. وين قسم الرجالي؟ لك وين قسم الرجالي عمار؟ رجالي وين رجالي؟ بيبينا تحت ولادي فوق محير هون في تنزيلات مالك الماركات لوي فيتون شوف.
The rebels have succeeded in gaining control over Damascus, the pumping heart of Syria, but we have to remember that they do not control entire Syria. Something like 20% of the northeastern part of Syria is controlled by the Kurds, and all the coast area, Latakia and Tartus, is controlled by the Alawites. But they control the most crucial, important, big cities of Syria, which are Aleppo and Homs and Hama, and of course Damascus now, and also the south of Syria, Dara area. It is still not clear, or at least not clear enough, what exactly will be tomorrow or in the day after tomorrow, because we are talking about a coalition of rebels. This is not one group. This is a coalition of rebels that part of them, or most of them, are religious. Most of them belong to the Jihadiyya Salafiyya, which means branches of Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Although their leader Al-Jolani prefers to wear a suit instead of Galabiya, okay, he is still in this way or another a branch of Al-Qaeda. He heads Jabhat al-Nusra, or Ayhat Tahrir al-Shams, which is the current name, which was separated from Al-Qaeda. There are some factions that belong to the Muslim Brotherhood. These are the factions that are supported by Turkey and Qatar. And there are some secular factions, okay, what we used to know as people who defected from the Syrian army. So it is, I would say, a bit of a complicated coalition, a bit of a complicated alliance, and at least for the time being, they knew how to work together in order to topple down Assad regime, but days will tell how well they will be able to work together. Now, the situation in Syria, and this is the most crucial issue that we have to remember, is that this is not a limited local issue. We are talking about a very turbulent event that eventually impacts the entire region and even the global arena. First of all, Syria is in chaos now. This is a chaotic situation. The question is if the rebels will be able to change their attitude and to behave in a different manner in comparison to the way that ISIS behaved. Okay, and I would like to remind all of our viewers that ISIS began due to the chaotic situation in Iraq. Okay, and the Islamic State that was established in 2014 was established in the Mosul area in the northwestern part of Iraq and the northeastern part of Syria. I think that Mohammed al-Jolani, the leader of Hayat Tahrir al-Shams, HTC, I think that he has some important lessons, and I think that he tries to behave differently. He tries to find a way to the Americans, to the CNN, to the international media. He even was interviewed today or yesterday in the CNN. He dresses a European suit. and he tells his people to behave themselves. He doesn't want to see bloodshed. He gives the Syrian soldiers that defected from the Syrian army. He promises them safety and security. He behaves in a very cautious manner with the minorities. But I think that they will try to do some efforts in order to do things smoothly. They try to work with the Syrian government, okay? And in this regard, things are a bit different in comparison to things that we used to know in Iraq. But there are so many variables that we have no control over them, and things are so fragile and so sensitive that it can go to many directions, at least to more than one direction. I cannot be, I would say, very determined in my anticipation. I just can say that this is, for now, a sort of a chaotic situation. Israel tries to eliminate all the strategic, centers or weapons that might fall to the hands of the rebels, at least to prevent any sort of a future threat or risk. But I don't know how things will be developed. We are in the middle of the event itself, and I think that we need some more time. But Israel, and I think that even the U.S., although President-elect Trump say that the U.S. has no interest in Syria, and he was concentrated on the Russian failure and on the Iranian failure. And he stated that the U.S. Or he does not intend to send any American troops to Syria. I think that at the end of the day, this is an American interest, a very solid American interest, because, as I said before, this is an event that impacts the entire region, and the Americans have an interest in the entire region. And President Trump seeks to reshape the region, to build a new regional architecture, and all the event in Syria is something that might interrupt, his intention in this regard. And I think that at the end of the day, the American administration will be involved in this way or another. Going back to the region itself, this is a sort of a very significant threat over Israel, or on Israel, due to the presence of the Jihadiyya Salafiyya and the Muslim Brotherhood organization along the border with Israel, and the instability of Syria, something that shakes the entire stability of the region. This is a very significant threat on the Jordanian kingdom. And the stability of the Jordanian kingdom is a very crucial issue, not only for Israel, but for the entire region, for the stability of the entire region. In addition to that, this is a huge failure of the entire resistance axis that was led by Iran. This is another layer or another brick that fell down in this, I would say, very strong wall of the resistance axis. And now Iran is much more vulnerable. This might be an opportunity for Israel, for the United States of America, and from other players who seek to stabilize the region, to work vis-a-vis Iran, because I think that the Iranian regime is very concerned about its survival and its stability, taking into consideration that all the defense envelopes that they built for decades, all of them eventually collapsed. And Iran itself was found as very vulnerable after the last Israeli attack on October 26, And Russia has been found as a non-reliable patron